In the fast-paced world we live in, it's all too common to find ourselves swept away by a torrent of emotions, often leading to regrettable actions and strained relationships. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by anger, frustration, or other intense emotions, wishing you could respond with greater clarity and compassion? If so, you're certainly not alone. Emotional mastery is not just about suppressing or denying our feelings, it's about understanding them, managing them, and choosing how to respond in a way that aligns with our values and goals. It's a skill that can profoundly impact every aspect of our lives, from our personal relationships and professional endeavors to our overall well-being and happiness. In today's video, we'll embark on a captivating journey through stories that blend timeless wisdom with practical insights. We'll draw inspiration from ancient teachings, modern psychology, and real-life experiences to offer you valuable tools and strategies for navigating the complex landscape of your emotions. Once upon a time, a person sought advice from Gautama Buddha, hoping to learn how to control his emotions. This individual struggled with anger and frustration and was eager to find a better way to manage his feelings. Buddha smiled and asked him to sit down, saying, "Let me tell you a story. Once there was a king who ruled over a prosperous kingdom. One day he decided to visit a neighboring kingdom. He had heard that the king of that land was renowned for his wisdom. Upon his arrival, he was greeted with great respect, and a grand feast was prepared in his honor. During the feast, the king noticed a sudden storm brewing outside. Thunder roared and rain poured heavily, causing discomfort to some guests. Disturbed by the weather, the king ordered his servants to close all the windows and doors, hoping to shield himself from the storm's fury. The king of the neighboring kingdom observed this and said, "Your Majesty, please do not be upset. It's just a passing storm. It doesn't matter." The king replied, "I cannot tolerate such disturbances. Even a storm can ruin my mood." The king of the neighboring kingdom smiled and said, "Your Majesty, let me offer you some advice. It's not the storm that has ruined your mood, but your reaction to it. You have the power to control your emotions. Don't let them control you." The king realized the wisdom in these words and returned to his kingdom. From that day on, he began practicing the art of not reacting to situations that would previously trigger his emotions. He found that he was able to maintain his composure in challenging situations and make better decisions. The power of not reacting is an important lesson for all of us. We often react to situations without thinking, which can lead to negative consequences. Reacting with anger and frustration can damage our relationships with others and hinder our ability to make clear-headed decisions. However, it's important to understand that not reacting doesn't mean suppressing our emotions. Emotions are a natural part of the human experience, and it's important to acknowledge them. Instead of impulsively reacting, we should take the time to process our emotions and respond thoughtfully. In another part of the world, there lived a young man named Alex. He was a very emotional person and often reacted impulsively to situations that upset him. He would get angry and say hurtful things, leading to arguments and hurt feelings. One day, Alex decided to take control of his emotions. He knew that his impulsive reactions were causing more harm than good, and he wanted to change. He started practicing mindfulness and meditation, which helped him become more aware of his thoughts and emotions. He also began practicing the art of not reacting. Whenever he found himself in a situation that would normally trigger his emotions, he would take a step back, take a few deep breaths, and then calmly assess the situation before responding. At first, it was difficult for Alex to control his emotions. He still got angry and frustrated, but he would take a step back and not react impulsively. As he continued to practice, he found that it became easier to control his emotions. Alex also noticed that his relationships with others improved. He no longer got into arguments and hurt people's feelings. Instead, he was able to communicate calmly and thoughtfully, which helped him build stronger relationships. One day, Alex's friend came to him for advice. His friend was going through a difficult time and was feeling very upset. Alex listened to his friend's problems and offered words of comfort and support. His friend thanked him and said, "You always know just what to say. You never get angry or upset." Alex smiled and replied, "It's not that I never feel angry or upset. It's just that I've learned to control my emotions and not let them control me. It's a powerful tool that has helped me improve my relationships and overall well-being." Alex's friend was impressed and asked him how he learned to control his emotions. Alex shared his experience with mindfulness and the power of not reacting. He encouraged his friend to try it out for himself, and his friend was grateful for the advice. Over time, Alex became known for his calm and thoughtful demeanor. He was able to handle difficult situations with ease, and people admired him for his strength and resilience. He continued to practice mindfulness and the art of not reacting, and he found that it brought him a sense of inner peace and happiness. The stories of the king and Alex teach us that we have the power to control our emotions. We may not be able to control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. By practicing mindfulness and the art of not reacting, we can learn to control our emotions and respond in a thoughtful manner. This is a powerful tool that can help us improve our relationships, enhance our well-being, and elevate our overall quality of life. Let us take the time to practice and cultivate this powerful skill, and let it transform our lives for the better. Suppressing rising anger is like holding back a chariot. Only the actual driver is in control. Others are mere reins holders. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Conquer yourself rather than thousands of battles. Only then can you truly be called victorious. Do not be guided by your reactions. Be guided by your actions. Inner peace comes from within, not from external sources. In an argument, once we feel anger, we have stopped seeking truth and started seeking self. Thoughts are the root of all things. What you think, you become. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. The root of suffering is attachment. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Letting go sets us free, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. If we remain attached to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. A single word of peace is better than 1,000 words of argument. Everything we are is the result of what we have thought. Respond, don't react. Respond with reason, not emotion. Lastly, only 3 things truly matter: how much you loved, how gracefully you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. Those who experience the unity of life see their own self in all beings, and all beings in their own self, seeing everything with an impartial eye. Happiness is generated through sharing. We shape our reality with our thoughts. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Focus the mind on the present moment. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. The only way to find true happiness is to let go of attachments to things and people. Thoughts are everything. What you think, you become. It is one's own mind, not an enemy or foe, that lures one down the evil path. A thought developed and put into action is more important than a mere thought. Nothing burns as fiercely as passion. Nothing is as harsh as hatred. No trap is as dangerous as foolishness, and no river is as destructive as desire. What we think, we become. Everything we are is the result of our thoughts. By our thoughts, we create the world. If you want to fly, you must let go of your burdens. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. The problem is you think you have time. The mind is like water. When it's turbulent, it's difficult to see. When it's calm, everything becomes clear. The tongue is like a sharp knife. It kills without drawing blood. Do not try to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought. Purity and impurity depend on oneself. No one can purify another. Let us rise and give thanks, for even if we have not learned much today, at least we have learned a little. If we have not learned a little, at least we have not fallen ill. If we have fallen ill, at least we have not died. So, let us all be grateful. In life, the real failure lies in betraying your true self. The past is behind us. The future is yet to come, and only the present moment deserves our attention. Idleness is a fleeting path to oblivion, while diligence paves the way for enduring success. The lazy falter, but the wise persevere. Hatred doesn't dissipate through more hatred. It fades only with love. This is the eternal law of the universe. A practitioner's thoughts and intentions shape the tendencies of their consciousness. Avoid dwelling on the past or overly fantasizing about the future. Instead, concentrate your energy on the here and now. Thoughts are pivotal in shaping our destiny. What you ponder will inevitably influence your fate. Seek refuge in yourself rather than in others. To achieve greatness in your endeavors, you must passionately love what you do. If you haven't discovered it yet, continue your quest and never settle. In matters of the heart, you'll recognize it when you find it. The true glory of life isn't in avoiding failure, but in rising every time you fall. No one can rescue us except ourselves. We must tread our path alone.